Hey,
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Source Energy Collective, our YouTube channel. So, we have been kind of inundated with all this news on the MSM about land grabbing of the Cowichan Native tribe in BC, Richmond, BC. And there's apparently this long time court battle over some land in Richmond. So on the MSM, they're saying they have all this news about people losing their homes because the Supreme Court has ruled that this land is indeed part of the Cowichan Reserve, and it should be part of the Cowichan Reserve. So people are unable to remortgage their homes apparently because their property is in court right now. And then the other day, I do follow APTN News. It's an Aboriginal news kind of place, and something came across my feed. And when I was reading it, it kind of told a completely different story. So what this says is that way back long ago, when the land was being colonized, this area, I think it was like 1,800 acres or something like that, was supposed to be part of the reserve. But the guy who was responsible for making this happen took it for himself so that he could obviously have some monetary gains from it. So that's how this whole thing got started, was that they were just trying to right that wrong. So in this article, it says here that they are not going for privately owned land. Uh, they are going for crown land and public land. But I think what happened is some of this land was um, given as private, so sold as private, but it wasn't supposed to. So there's a lot of different conflicting information here. Now, Jerry just did a quick Google search and says that Sun Peaks and some other place in BC is having the same kind of court battle. The Indian tribe is trying to get their land back. So as we all know, when something happens in court, it sets a precedent, right? The precedent can affect us all. Um, but again, there's something that's not sitting right in my intuition. There's two different stories. They're saying two different things. So we're thinking, Jerry and I were thinking, we're going to pull the tarot and see what the tarot is going to tell us about this land grab. Um, the Aboriginal tribes going for land that was supposed to be for them, taking away land from private owners. Is that a thing? So, Jerry, did you want to start shuffling our cards and asking that
sure.
question?
Yeah, I've uh, I've already got a nice layout here already, and it's pretty spot on in my opinion too. These cards must be really acclimated well into my energies. I'm telling you, Marcia. It's going to take a while for those other ones though, but I'll get there.
Are you,
Um,
wait.
so
Are you using a new
what's
deck?
that? Oh no, this is the old original deck. We're at work right now, so I had to come up with the oldies, the OGs. But
Oh,
you know
geez.
what? This is the root of it right now, which is the nine, and she's a blindfolded woman, and so the swords, they represent the mental aspect of things, and so this is what this is mental fuckery that's going on, in my opinion, because currently there's the Five of Swords, which is really dysfunctional, and so there's a lot of greediness, there's a lot of centeredness. I don't mean to sound like an a-hole here, but a lot of what's being reflected is what's being reflected back to us by these dark occultists. So I don't really actually blame anybody but ourselves, because we ourselves are the ones that are responsible for a lot of ignoring a lot of the signs and ignoring a lot of abilities to become more involved in helping others. Instead of it's been too much looking after number one, which is fine. Looking after yourself is important, but it needs to extend beyond the self. And so I'm getting fives galore here. So in the past, institutions have essentially corrupted the systems, and they've taken the land. In this case, they're taking the land, and they've basically created a lot of problems. You could say stolen the land. I don't know. That sounds like a victim thing, but this is what's going to happen. Here's the good part. So it's going to another five of wands here. So this is going to light a fire under a lot of people. This is going to really get people moving around. I get a lot of cards here that are dysfunctional right now. So there's a lot going on. So in the very near future, it's going to really bring people to start to. Well, the first step is to acknowledge that there's a lot of stuff going on, whether you want to call it negative. I don't want to label it, but it's definitely going to bring people, get them off their seat. And here's the beautiful part. Here's the good takeaway right here. So these are actually considered feminine cards. This one's more associated to the divine will in the Kabbalist. So this is essentially going to get people moving, because this is the chariot. So this can get people moving around, and the only way to really embody courage is to embody the feminine aspect. The masculine itself does not have the courage. It comes from the feminine aspect, the courage. So that's what's being ignited. So I hope I wasn't too long there, Marsh, but that's kind of where I was at with that.
So interpret that whole spread. So there was like a lot of fives.
Yeah, I had three fives in a row. So like currently right now, we're looking at the five of the five of swords. So it's like a mental card. So it's about having too much. Like this guy's hogging. This guy's being very selfish, and so in our own reality, this is what's being reflected back to us, right? And being mirrored. So it's going to help ignite, it's going to ignite a lot of rebellion, you could say.
Okay.
So yes, thanks. So we're looking at rebellion coming. That's what I'm getting here very, very shortly. Don't really have a timeline, of course, but in the future, yes, this is where we're going. It's going to really bring people, start getting people off their ass and get them moving. But it has to come with the feminine aspect involved. So it's going to help. I think it's going to break people out of their shell is what this is intended to do. Because Lord knows we need the change to happen for all of us, right? I hope that was okay.
Yeah. It's something, so what you're saying is that is something that is going to ignite, right? Is that what you said? With the
Yeah,
fire, the mental
yeah,
energy that is meant to ignite the people, but it has to come from the feminine side, right?
because right now they don't, people are it's like their worst nightmare. They're feeling held hostage by everything that's going on around them, because there's so much being pushed forward. The feminine energy, man, I tell you, you can't stop a good woman. So when that energy starts rolling, you know, it's gonna come. And so a lot of these illusionary systems are really gonna take a shit kicking the rest of this year, and especially next year, next few years probably.
And we did pull that in our November energies, right? And even though that this has been happening for quite some time, this court case has been happening for quite some time. It just newly came out into the light, into people's awareness, right? They're talking a lot about it on the news. I see a lot of videos of actual people like sharing their story that they got this letter, that their land, their home that they've lived in for many, many years, they have this letter now saying that the title is not going to be theirs. It's still ongoing. Like the Supreme Court did make a ruling, but um, that it was the Cowichan's property, their territory. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a big deal. It just came out. The November tarot spread that we did was talking about this, that there's going to be a lot of things that are coming out. And most of our cards were telling us to go within, center, watch it like an observer, right? And
Great advice. Great advice. Yeah, that's
try to
awesome.
our center in it. I mean, having had said that, we do live in the 3D world, and people are upset at losing their homes. And I don't know, intuitively, it seems like there's something going on,
You say
right?
what?
Intuitively, there's something going on, especially
Oh,
after
100%.
especially reading this whole thing from APTN News saying that they are not going for private land, they're going for crown land, they're going for public land. So why all this like two different stories, right?
Yeah, the way I like to look at it is there's fences put up between everybody's property. This is my yard. Keep your dog out of my yard. I don't want to see your yard. I want your yard to look better so my property value goes up. We have lived in such a psychotic, narcissistic systems that we actually believe them to and identify them as being factual. And every system that we see crumble is worth a celebration because the majority of them they're not benefiting the whole. So I'm excited to see not people have to suffer, but if they have to get out, people have to get a little uncomfortable to change, then I say so be it. Because there's going to be a lot more of this. There's going to be other situations that are not going to be to a lot of people's liking. And that's why we made this whole channel so that we could be a voice for the voiceless and to help people that want to be helped. Otherwise, what's that song? Live and let live. And, you know,
Yeah. So I did pull cards and I got a lot of nines and tens.
there you go. Yeah,
Right?
we're in year 9 right now.
We're at the end of this craziness that's going on, and it just feels like everything seems to be amping up. This is not a small deal, right? Like
No,
this
no, and now it's going province wide,
this is a
and just
ballsy
think about
move.
right. Think about Alberta when they're wanting
Yeah.
to. Yeah, they're wanting to like this is a great time to be alive because there's so much of the pots being stirred. The stagnancy now is finally moving. Things are finally starting to move, and the exciting part is we're going to see more moving. So it's time to celebrate, in my opinion.
Mm. And I think this goes back to like the 3i Atlas going by Mars, right? Because and our November read, it's just all these things are being shown up, and the energies are not contributing, but supporting people like taking a stand, right? And like
Yeah, it's
saying no more. And Jerry's saying all these systems have to go, but like, how are they going to go? They're not going to go with us sitting on our ass, right? They're going to
oh
go when
no,
we finally have had enough. And this is, like I said, it's a ballsy move. This is people's homes. And I feel intuitively that it's being flip flopped, turned upside down on its head by the nefarious who is trying to make us divided and getting like mad at the Indian tribes, right? Like it's all the same fucking ploy, divide and conquer, right? Divide and
yeah,
conquer, and then the Indian people are like, this is our land, and they have a point, right? But it's the age old debate, it's the age old conflict of when Canada got colonized. They're putting um their plan, their agenda that they use over and over and over again, divide and conquer, make them mad at each other, right? But they're using people's homes, and it's
yeah.
Supreme Court. right? So
Yeah.
my whole thing is I got the Three of Pentacles. So that is in the recent past. So I feel that like this is somebody showing their kind of their wares, their products, their this is the cabal with the whole this is what we're going to do now, right? A desperate need to gain back the control that they have lost because they feel that the control, maybe not in Canada so much, but because they've lost control over the rest of the world where everybody is like in uprising, they're doing it to Canada. Do you see this slide? Like this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I don't know how much more we can comment because there's a what you just said was really important because you made me think of like when you said the cabal. If you look at historically, it's the people that go along with these agendas too, that they are the ones helping the agendas, whether they're working for institutions that are taking away people's, if when there comes a decision that everybody's going to have to make, and it has to be come out of morality, and if they don't do what's right, if they start to, and especially if they discover what they're doing is wrong, and then they continue to do it, they're gonna get bitch slapped like you would not believe by the universe, because anything that's out of balance right now is gonna get shown to us to clear it up. And if we don't clear it up, we don't acknowledge it, and if we start to try to pretend that it's something else and ignore it, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. And right now, everything has gotten to the point where it has to get resolved and it has to get done in a manner from the heart. And anything outside of that is not going to work. So it's the only thing to do right now is to start to really do introspection for a lot of people. So hopefully that this is going to help, because bank accounts are going to be next. There's wait till people's bank accounts start getting affected, and then they're really going to be paying attention, right?
But it's
Because you
not
can't
even,
ignore it anymore. It's right there in your face.
it's like a step further than the bank accounts, Jerry. It's people's homes. It's
Yeah, that's right. They got so much, they, like I said, they want your yards to look match their yards and the other yards, and da 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 da, and spray some, get some weed killer out, kill all those
what
weeds
I'm
that are growing,
saying. They're
those
going,
ones that heal you.
that's not what I'm saying. They're going for people's homes now. It's not the bank account. It's like, yeah, if the bank account goes, people will
Hmm.
take notice.
Hmm.
But I don't
Well,
know if people are going to take notice because people's homes are being taken away. They're in the court. They can't remortgage their homes. And yet, like what Jerry said, right? Like people need to not let this slide. And what better country to do this in but Canada, where we don't seem to have any fire under our butts. Like we just kind of pretend and look away and it's not us and it's just happening, right? Like,
yeah. Well,
um,
and yeah, 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 yeah. You know what? And we don't have a lot to cheer about here in Canada to begin with. I mean, we had the Blue Jays just about win the World Series, and that got rug pulled out from underneath them. And then now this. I mean, people are already crying in the street because of that. And now we're seeing this happen, and there's going to be more. There's going to be more, and there's going to be more. And it's we have to stand up for ourselves. It's like a bully. You got a bully, you have to stand up for yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to keep taking an ass kicking. And talk to your neighbors. To talk to some people at work. You don't have to go off on the deep end. Maybe share a video like this with them or something. Get people have to start thinking for their own. They have to start breaking out of the spells.
yeah.
But it comes with intent. It has to start with intent. And once you start moving into the heart, that's where we're going.
Mhm.
So
How do
yeah.
people do that, right? Like, how do you do that and maintain your center while standing up? That is the age old fucking query, right? So it's like here. I have the Nine of Swords. Swords are mental, swords are communication, swords are thoughts, right? I really do feel that this is one of the end agendas from the Cabal that is going to happen. And I do feel a little bit of like apprehension around it happening in Canada because, like I said, Canada is full of a lot of people under spells and they don't think for themselves, right? And this is quite a big deal. So the Nine of Swords to me is like the battle is almost over, but just keep going is what this card says to me. And then I have the Nine of Pentacles, right?
Wow.
Yeah, the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles again telling me that this is playing out. It's at its very, very end. And then the Ten of Wands, they're all coming out. The Ten of Wands is like the battle is done. How did I do it? Kind of, I won the battle, but was that, did I win the war? Right? I won the war, but did I win the battle? So a lot of things are, I'm scared for Canada, honestly. Um, and then the Queen of Wands is calling us the feminine, right? The feminine energy of fire is calling us again,
Oh, yeah. Good
again
one.
to stand up to, and in whatever way you do, is it just to be non-compliant? We're not going to go out and hold signs. That's just not what Canada is. The last people that went out and hold signs and had a protest are still dealing with jail,
Yeah.
right? So, and then the Supreme Court just ruled the culling of the ostriches. It's a done deal. They're going to be killed, right? So it's like, when is enough enough? Or when they're going to take away your house and blame it on somebody else who is standing up for their own rights? Who That's exactly what's going on.
Well, those nines you got there, those are the minor arcana, and so that's a very like on a micro level. So that's a very on a very personal level. So that's exactly perfect. And then you see the Queen of Wands, I believe you had there. you know, and that's more for the collective, the feminine. Yeah. So I mean, that's wow. Yeah, she's got that beating stick there too.
And
So
look at that
yeah,
one in the
that's
middle. Look at that
yeah,
one
it's
in
going to
the
be hard
middle.
for people
Ten
to,
of
yeah,
Wands,
yeah,
right?
and that 10 to me says people are carrying their load still that they need to, they're still having to carry, they're carrying their own baggage around there. Well, or even better, you know what, they're suppressing their energy as well. So maybe there's going to be something happening where, that feminine's going to have to come forth to get them to break free of their spells. So yeah, that's what it's that three. I always say CI, 3I Atlas codes are going to really is really amping things up. So
Yeah. And then I
beautiful.
asked for two clarifiers and I got the Ten of Cups. So it does feel hopeful, right? So that's like my really great card for our happiness, our joy, our contentment. It's a family card. So it does kind of feel hopeful that things are going to work out. I don't know how they're going to work out, but they are going to work out to a good outcome. And the moon for me is, I said, is this an illusion, right? Is this being turned upside down? Are we getting the full story? And I got the moon. So definitely there's a lot hiding, right,
Yeah,
in the
indeed.
story. So before you get all up in arms and in the face of like the couch and people or in the face of anybody, I would suggest to really take a pause, go within and see what your heart is saying to you and feel
Yeah,
it and hear it. Feel
yeah.
it
I,
within
I, I
you.
just when you said that, I just thought of they're going to probably pay some people to also stir shit too during those events too. So half of what you see might not even be factual, but they'll have what do they call it? Provocateurs in there. So yeah, it's gonna get crazy. Oh, I shouldn't
You know,
laugh, but
like during that whole January 6th thing, um,
yeah, yeah, they found what there was like 80 or 180. There was like a ridiculous amount of paid to play.
okay,
agents or whatever you want to call it, right? You know, half a little bit of
Online,
this, little bit of that. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
you see online right now, what was that war that they just stopped, right? And there was like people crying because the war is over because they're not getting paid anymore. And they were actually literally making videos, interviewing these people like, why are you upset that the war is over now? Weren't you protesting the fact that you didn't want this war? And they actually literally said, because now what am I going to do to pay my rent?
Yeah, see, that is such a deep level of disconnect from the heart that, you know, like there's so much trauma around people's experiences that they've disconnected from what's real, and they've connected to what's fake and what's got a timestamp on it. You know, nothing in this reality has any permanence to it except our own being, our own spirit. So yeah, it's an interesting time, Marcia. We're seeing it all come now, and we're going to see more develop here in the next while, or as the astrology, as the wheels turn.
Oh my God, these cards are just talking right now.
I
Hang
told you they're slippery. I just told you. Yeah. I don't know if it's like I think it takes a while, but they will. I have mine here. I was gonna break them out, but I just wanted to first use them some more, so that way they're more integrated with my energies more.
I haven't finished my read though, so the clarifiers was the moon. There is an illusion going on. But the outcome is the 10 of cups. So it gives me a bit of hope. And then I again asked for more clarifiers for the 10 of cups because I was like, what is this 10 of cups, right? I got the 6 of cups and the 7 of cups. So what this spread is telling me is that um, it is towards the end of everything right now, the end of the chaos, the end of the old systems, with the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. It is a nefarious agenda. It is trying to divide and conquer. It is one of the things in their last stronghold of Canada that they are trying this, and it is a ballsy fucking move in taking people's fucking homes and their inability. Like, how can you be in your center when your home is being fucking on the line, right?
Yeah.
Um, the
Don't
ten.
tap into that energy, Marcia.
But the Ten of Wands is telling us that, like, there's a difference between the battle and the war. So there might be something that is not going to be great that happens out of this, but that is going to cause people to stand up and to use their voice and to be as strong as the Queen of Wands. But in the end, no matter what the outcome in this land grab is it's going to be okay because I'm getting really great cards. Like, I'm getting the 10 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups. So yeah, Jerry, you're right. It's a way into the new systems, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that major arcana that you pulled was the moon card. So that's like all of our subconscious, let's say, fears are coming to life.
Yep.
So everything that people have feared now is going to start to surface more because they've refused to acknowledge it. And I don't want to exclude myself because I'm part of the collective too. Sorry, Marcia, what were you going to say?
So as I was shuffling, three cards came flying out. Was the Nine of Wands. So this is the battle is not almost over. It's the one before the Ten of Wands, right? The battle and the war. So this guy is trying his hardest to just keep going. And then the Ten of Wands is like, yeah, you may have won the war, but you lost the battle, right? So there's two different there's two different things going on. Something pretty crazy may happen out of this land grab. People may actually lose their home, but
Yeah.
the war would be the war for our souls, our collective, our future, right? Something good is going to come out of that. And honestly, what I'm seeing in my head is huge revolution. If
Yeah,
that is actually the
yeah,
case, is like if people are going to lose their homes, that may be what's going to make Canada say no more, right? It's going to have to take something ridiculously ridiculous to make Canada say, no, that is no more, right? So I see a big revolution coming if people will lose their homes. But remember, it is flip flopped upside down. They're doing this and blaming it on other people. So remember that, right? And then the
yeah.
Page of Swords came up. So that's a mental card. So again, it's like a war, a fight for our sovereignty, the way we think, how we move forward, the way we discern, not being told what to think, but discern ourselves what to think. And then the Knight of Pentacles, which Brie always says is the slowest moving card in the deck. So I think we need to buckle up because what we read for the fire horse here, this is only the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. And what did yeah, you had a lot of cups there too. And while you were talking there, I got a, I got a little bit of a download where it said the levee's going to break. And I thought, oh, okay. So that's water and those cups that you have. So that's kind of like people have dammed up their hearts. And I think that the emotions are going to run really high and it's going to force people into their hearts. So I just, you know what, everything that pops into my reality now, I don't dismiss it. I pay attention to all the little signs. I know you do really well. You do really well with that. I'm still working good on paying attention more to that. And I've been noticing too that this is like a necessary situation that has to unfold. You know, it's when you're in that when it affects you on a personal level that's really tough. But you know what? It's so hard letting go sometimes, and that's where we're all having troubles is letting go of the old ways because there's something so much more beautiful and so much more vibrant that wants to be birthed, but we have to let go of this of the control systems of all of it, um, so that something new can come, right?
Yep, I'm pulling, I'm thinking my question right now, like, will people actually lose their homes in this situation? I'm asking for
Sure.
two cards right now. Guess what just popped out? Queen of Wands. Okay, I'm gonna get two cards and the Queen of Wands just popped out. That's my girl, my Queen of Wands. I love her. All right, so is this actually people gonna actually lose their homes? So I got the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm hearing no. I'm hearing no. What do you get? Pull on that question. So the Seven of Wands is this guy going to battle. It's what we said, the revolution, right? Like he's saying he's standing up and he's standing strong. So it's not that people aren't going to lose their homes. It's what are we going to do to not let this happen? Is this card? Do you see the resolve in his face?
Yeah, give me the question again, please. Sorry.
Are
Oh,
people
people lose their homes. Will people
are
lose their
people
homes?
actually going to lose their homes in this land grab?
Well,
The next one I
honestly,
got was the Queen of Pentacles. So, no, they're not. But it's going to take people coming together in unity and in numbers and saying, like, what the fuck is going on? This is not okay.
yeah,
This is not what we want, right?
I got okay. I love that. I love that, and I can see that definitely as well. So I'm also getting from a maybe more of a macro, maybe Marcia, is I'm getting that it's harvest time. And this now we are in the harvest window where we're now because these are pentacles, so this is time to to make rights now. And here's your guy, the Pentacle Knight, and so we are moving slowly into a different direction, because in the past there's a lot of karma that has to get cleaned up in the past. So there that's what yeah. So I mean, it's just a cleanup is what's going on. There's a energetic cleanup, and we're in Taurus season, right? So these are like basically Taurus cards. These are our matter. So we're moving in a different direction.
So what you got is a yes or a no for people who are, did you get that?
Um,
Going
you know
to?
what? They're not, the cards are not going to tell me that. They're not going to tell me that. But you know what? There's possibility that it might appear that way because okay, so if I was to, without looking at the cards or pulling cards on it, it's going to bring people to understand what's more important. And it's just letting me know right now that we are just going to be moving in a different direction, and that there is things that, like, you showed a lot of nines there, so there's a completion that's happening. And there's a newness starting next year. 2026 is the fire horse year, right? And that's a year one, and I think you had tens there, which is technically a one, right? So yeah, I mean, there might be some people that, I mean, the more that a person gets concerned and worried about something, they just create more of that. I know we're not worried about this. We're just pulling on it as an observer, and just pulling out what the cards want to say, because you can only really get this kind of information when you're in neutrality. If we were emotionally attached to these outcomes and stuff, it would skew the readings. But so does that make sense?
I gotta know it's not gonna happen, but it's gonna take people like being that person. I forgot what card it was. The 10 of Wands. No, it wasn't the 10 of the 7. But he was standing there with so much resolve in his face, like kind of barring the entrance and saying no more. I think that's what the cards are telling us today, right? Is that this is definitely an agenda brought on in Canada to make the Canadians look and actually see with their eyes what power they have given their elected leaders, that and their elected leaders are trying to blame it on someone else. That's what I got from this read for sure. And unfortunately, like, it will take people coming together, unfortunately, because like it hasn't really happened too much in the past, so it's going to take quite a big stretch. But also that, like, 2026, yeah, it's the fire horse. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, and this is like pretty big a pretty big agenda. So I'm kind of concerned as to what the next one is going to be, if this is kind of like only the beginning, right?
Yeah, it looks like you relocated just at the right right time.
I'm still in BC. I almost went to Alberta.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're gonna wrap up here, you think?
Yeah. I was thinking, do you want to pull on the ostriches at all, or no?
Okay. So what's the story on the ostriches these days?
The ostriches, it just came out like tonight that the Supreme Court is saying no more time, and that the culling of these healthy birds that got the bird flu a long time ago, um,
Bird flu. What?
need
Really?
that they need to be culled um, because that's what they say.
Yeah. Sounds kind of fishy, doesn't it? I think that whole bird flu's. You know what? If you look at how chickens and stuff that are treated, they're all boxed up in a metal box and breathing their own ammonia and shit, and people wonder why they're sick, eh? They call it a bird flu. Like, really?
Not our chickens. Our chickens run around and they're living their best lives. My
Yeah.
still
Hmm.
asshole.
Oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay. All right. Huh. Wow. Give me a moment here. Well, there's a lot of grief and a lot of sadness behind what's going on, and I don't know if have they actually been called at all? No. Okay. That, yeah, it's still a fight going on.
No,
Um.
it's pretty much a done deal now.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay, because it's basically right now, like this can be a generous card at times, but I think in this situation, it's looking like it's like, people they're beggars here. They're begging, and they're looking at authority as being their called their God basically. And yeah, I mean, again, spirits reminding me that it's harvest time right now. So that's what that is. And there's also, again, there's just a refinement of nature. So there's lots being highlighted wherever there's something that's perceived as being negative. There's always a positive in there somewhere.
It's that
So
battle and war thing, right? The battle
ah,
and war. Yeah,
for
you
sure.
lose the battle, but you win the war. So we might lose these battles, but in the end, it's going to make humanity see. And
Yeah, that's exactly what I got here, Marsh. So this is going to affect the world, the whole. So this is going to highlight for a lot of people. Um, I don't want to say that this is an illusion at all, but it's going to get some people to stand up finally, right? And they start fucking whacking back, and then it's going to help because now we're starting to realize, and we can move into creation, we can move into being, moving forward, because this was above the magician. So this is going to help us create new systems. The magician is the master creator. So, we're going to be going, oh man, this is it. We're going back to nature in a massive, massive way. So this is all highlighting, and this is probably gonna branch out into all the way the other animals are being treated. So this story is going to continue to get people to think differently. We do live in I don't want to call it a free will, a free choice world. So, uh, you know what? We have to be really, really honest and use morality when it comes to our choices. I continue more, but I feel like I'm babbling sometimes. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks, Marsh.
what came in when you were talking about the animals was I just kind of tuned into Mother Earth and she's pissed. Right? Like this ostrich thing, those are her children. They did nothing wrong except for live. And the humanity, the locusts that we are going to kill them for their own fucking agendas, right? So gear
Yeah.
up for floods, for earthquakes. We've already forecasted that in 2026 in one of our previous videos. This isn't going to help anything, right? Um,
No,
yeah,
it's like whack-a-mole out there right now. There's so much, so much polarity going on, eh? And it comes right down again to, yeah, yeah,
Earth,
yeah,
right?
that,
I use some taps. This is my Mother Earth card, the
yeah,
Empress, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Five of Swords, huge conflict, right?
Yes.
King of Swords, that is the government sitting there ruling, telling people what to think, right? This is going to cut away all those telling people what to think, all those indoctrinations, all those like nefarious kind of spells that people are under. And look at this, the Ten of Cups is upside down.
Ah,
So that's
not a
not
good
so
sign.
great. No, that's not
It's,
so great.
it's, yeah, that's not what you want.
the three of pentacles is upside down. This is the guy showing their wares. They have nothing left to show, right? And then the seven of wands is upside down. So people did not stand up for this, and this is why this has happened. Remember what we said on the other thing, people will not lose a house if they do stand up, right?
Yeah,
But this
that's
one
right.
is not
That's
like
right.
this. So
That's
nobody
the whole idea here, is to get
Nobody
people
gave a
to,
fuck. Nobody gave a fuck about the ostriches. They didn't care. So that's why this one is upside down, right?
yeah.
And this is like the um la 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 la. I'm going to skip the step.
Yeah.
La la la. I'm not gonna look. Right? So
Yeah.
that's why this whole thing happened with the ostriches, because people were so damn busy with their own lives and they didn't care. And you know what? Mother Earth is like the base of this reading, and she's not happy, right? If you tune into her, Jerry, like tune in, see what I got was
I've me and mother got it pretty close, pretty tight here. I understand what you're saying, and that's and that world card that I got, that is a woman. So I mean, and there's the four elements are right there. There's a Taurus. Uh, they're all represented in terms of the planets, and even with this magician card on the table there's the pentacles, the cups, and the sword and the wands. So yeah, we live in a mental matrix, and so this card is all about basically creating with our own mentality. And so that's the world we've created in the past. So we need to reestablish our own sovereignty, our own strength to be able to walk in the truth. And there's what's it they say, a coward is like a cow. They harvest cows, they harvest cowards. And so in this realm, there's no room for cowardice. Doesn't mean you have to do anything stupid, but you definitely have to develop yourself and ourselves. And in order to do that, we have to surrender our bullshit stories and our bullshit biases and our views on political, circus events. We have to get to what's real. And ever who's watching this, you're real. Your relationships are real. Your perspectives are real. But you got to realize this is a mental matrix. It's all about mind games. So you have to become the driver of your vessel, and for God's sakes, get off those phones. If you're okay, I'm going to be honest here. This is a little, maybe sound a little judgy, but you know what? If you're walking around the streets, walking your dog, and you're on your phone, you probably have a problem. If you get up in the morning and the very first thing you do is check your phone, you probably got a problem. So those phones are not your friends. They're designed specifically to ensnare your intention and your creative. You're creating the hell pit that they want. And the only way through this is to get smarter. And the only way to get smarter is to start to surrender, activate your inner intelligence, and let that be your guiding light. Thanks, Spirit. I wasn't thinking of that, but that's fantastic.
I love that you're just like letting it flow out of your mouth.
Yeah, I'm getting better, eh? Thanks.
So I asked the question of the cards, Jerry pull on this question too. Are the people going to be the Seven of Swords? Was it Seven of Swords or no? It was the Seven of Wands. Are they going to actually embody the Seven of Wands when it comes to the land grab? So let's bring it back full circle. Pull on that. I got the Justice as the recent past, and then the Ten of Cups as the present moment, and the Knight of Cups. Yes, 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 they are. My cards are saying yes, they are. So in the recent past, this whole thing is like the Justice. Also with the ostriches. The ostriches, unfortunately, was a battle that we lost. but yet there is the war that we can still win, right? So that's why all these things are happening, is to bring in the justice, to bring in the right and the wrong, to allow people to see what is right and wrong, and to actually not be the la la la, I'm going to just go to work and not pay attention to anything and screw everybody else. But as long as my life is good, see, right next to that is the two, which one is this? The Eight of Cups, all bounded, right? That is a fucking
Swords.
program.
It is swords.
Yeah, that is the program right there. Putting yourself in the state where you are just so into your own self, into your own life, into your own world makes you bound and gagged and blindfolded, right? But okay, so the justice, that I went off on a tangent. The and the ostriches are a justice, it's like a thing for justice, right? Yes, it's a nefarious program, but the basis of it, the war, is to help people kind of unbound themselves, to make it into the Ten of Cups is upside, is right side up now. So that is a yes. And then the Knight of Cups is that we're going to take back. Yes, it's going to be forward motions with all our emotions and all these shocking things that are going to happen, but that is a necessary thing, right?
Yep.
And it's going to make us go into a new kind of path with the Fool and the Hanged Man. There's no more waiting
Oh,
around.
wow. You got the
There's
Fool card, eh? That's, yeah.
no more waiting around for the people to wake up. Like, they're the Hanged Man that is reversed. The time is now. It's fucking go time, right?
Yeah. You know what? I love it. I love it. Are you done?
Mm, go
Okay,
ahead.
cool. Yeah, I got two. Okay, I'm just gonna show the two cards that are really worthwhile showing. So this is gonna be the near future. So you showed justice there, which is about balancing as well, and this is about emotional balancing well as well. So this is gonna be. I love that there's an angel there too. So you know what, we like you're saying before, Marcia. You know what, we are not victims. We have so much help here. We don't need extra help. We just have to acknowledge the help that we've been getting. I'll just show this one because this was, again, the subconscious is what all that we're seeing is the illusion. It's all of our hidden nightmares that are that just want to get hugged and held and brought back to center, which is what this card is. And this is the outcome. And this, my friends, and Marcia, my dear friend, this is the heart card in the Kabbalah. So this is the lover's card. So this is where all things meet, is in the heart. So it's going to bring us into the heart. And in above or below the temperance card is the masculine is going to be forced into acknowledging their emotional body, because that's really where we just did something for somebody here that they're just saying that their friend doesn't have the ability to express emotions, and that comes with a lot of the masculinity in it, and it's because they've denied their feminine side. So there has to be that reconciliation, that whole with the self, right? And if we do that, and sorry, go ahead.
Is it the fusion of what we were calling in with the last meditation, the fusion of both sides? It's not no longer masculine, it's no longer feminine. It is just one. It is all one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's I'm getting goosebumps. That was really nice. I love that. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit.
So, buckle up. The fire horse year is coming up, 2026. This is only the beginning. It's go time. There's no more waiting for people to wake up. If you're sleepy, that's on you, right? And yeah, so the card said, right? Like, if we don't unite, then we might lose a few battles, but we still have the war to win, right?
We still got each other.
We got the war to- So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. I know this was a little bit more kind of like down and dirty, than our usual tone in our tarot, where we're just centered, just watch with popcorn and laugh. Like, it's becoming real. It's really becoming real, and it's like we can stand up in a way that is aligned with where we want to go with the new earth, right? It's we don't have to get in wars or argue or anything, but we just hold our own light. We hold
Hey,
our light. We
we're
hold
here to walk with you too. We're here to walk with you.
absolutely.
We're all in this together. You're not alone.
If you liked this video and you want to see more of it, subscribe, comment, share. It's a lonely world out there sometimes with all the sleepers, right? So if you want just kind of like a little respite from that, come hang out with you, come hang out with us. You can always join us live as well. You just have to reach out to us and we would love to have you.
Yeah, take a walk on the wild side.
All right, we'll catch you in the next video.